Last week, I made a pretty big financial decision. I decided that I was going to sell my Mercedes S580. Now, if you've watched any of my previous content, then you know in the past, I made a video about why you shouldn't wait until you're 65 or older and retired before you can actually start enjoying any of your money. Now, guys, I really love that car. I wouldn't necessarily say it was my dream car, but it was a car that I had my eyes on for a while. But I decided to sell it. So in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through some of the reasons why I actually got rid of it. And the very first reason was I wanted to have dry powder available to deploy whenever an opportunity to invest came up. So what does that mean? So if you've ever listened to Warren Buffett talk, he often talks about having cash available to deploy into an investment, and how in the past, that's how he has accelerated his wealth building process, was having the funds available to take advantage of an investment when it becomes available. So that's the very first reason. I just wanted that cash to be able to deploy to an asset that would make money as opposed to an asset that is depreciating, right? And if you guys have owned high-end cars in the past, you know they don't hold their value. When you buy these cars, you're not buying them with the hopes that the depreciation is going to slow down after you buy it. In fact, it often accelerates at a very high rate after you've had the vehicle for a little bit of time. So that's the very first reason. The second reason is that I truly wanted to see, could we be a one vehicle household? My wife doesn't seem to think so. So we have a bet going on right now. She doesn't think that we can go down to just having one car. I think that we can. But the fact of the matter is we both work remotely, and there's not a lot that I go out and do these days. I work out at home. I work from home. And anytime we go anywhere, 9 out of 10 times, we're going together. So right now, I thought, why not go ahead and get rid of the vehicle and then use that money to deploy it into a different asset. Now, let's be clear. I didn't sell that vehicle just to leave the money in the savings account. That is not the plan here. The plan is to redeploy that capital into either the stock market, into paper assets, into a rental property, or perhaps even acquiring a business. I've been thinking a lot lately about maybe buying a business. Instead of starting one from scratch, maybe buying one that's already operational, at least exploring that, right? At this point, I'm so laser focused on trying to maximize the amount of time that I have left working years that I want to work, because I want to choose how long I work. And then I also want some control over how my life will be after I retire. Now, the next reason is because the cost of maintenance. So if you've ever owned a high-end vehicle, then you know that most people that buy them, or most people that should buy them, are not overly concerned about the cost of maintenance. But let's be real, to get an oil change, you're looking at a couple $100. And any other type of maintenance on that type of vehicle is going to be extremely expensive. So what I would typically do as part of my budget is I would set aside, $50, $100 every single month. And then whenever it was time to get the brakes changed, which on that car, if you do it at a dealership, is around $1,500, which is crazy, especially if you can do it on yourself for a fraction of the price. But, it's expensive to maintain these cars. So understanding that, as well as the car's warranty about to becoming expired towards the end of the year. It was a certified pre-owned when I purchased it, and I still had some of the warranty left on it. But at that point in time, I just started to think, I'm not driving much right now. There could be some potential opportunities in the rental market, especially here where I'm at. Tons of deals here, tons of people moving to this area. Why not go ahead and have that money available to redeploy? The fourth reason is my daughter is almost 16 years old. So she's going to start driving here soon. And my wife and I, we've kicked around the idea of maybe we get a car that she can kind of grow into, smaller vehicle, nothing crazy. We don't do the brand new cars for 16. Definitely didn't do that for my son. We're not looking to do that for my daughter either. But a vehicle that she could actually drive and be comfortable driving as we kind of teach her how to drive. So my wife thinks that's an excuse. And later on, I'm going to just use that as a way to kind of figure out what my next vehicle would be. Who knows? I mean, she knows me pretty well, but at least that's part of the plan right now, right? So I'm trying to think how we utilize vehicles in my household, and does it even make sense to have more than one car? Again, I go back to the beginning of the video where I talked about my wife and I have the bet. Guys, I need to win this bet. I really do. And then the next reason is because of just the overall uncertainty in this economy. I mean, you've seen gas prices, right? My area, you're looking at around $5 a gallon, maybe a little bit more for a gallon of gas. And if you've ever driven an S580, you know that thing eats gas like crazy. But if you take a look at the stock market, we're trading at all-time highs right now across the board. No end in sight to the movement upwards, which is great. But then you take a look at the housing market and you start to wonder what's going on there, because it's definitely cooled off. Even in an area where I'm at, where the market is strong, it's still starting to cool off some, and you're seeing homes that used to sell in the first 72 hours, they're on the market for 30 days, 45 days. And there's just so much competition here with so many new homes that they're building that they may be oversaturating the market just a little bit. And then on top of that, you've got companies laying people off left and right. And just right now, I'm not 100% sold on this economy, which takes me almost back to the first point that I made, which was having cash available on the sidelines when a deal presents itself. Because you have all of this stuff going on in the economy, and I truly believe that we could have some potential opportunities in the near short term to take advantage of things that will help us to explode our net worth in the future. Now, again, that could be in the stock market, could be in the rental market, especially with the housing prices starting to level off and cool off a little bit. But could that also be a sign that the economy is in trouble? When housing starts to slow down, that's usually followed by issues across the market. So some of you guys may be watching this and you might say, hey man, I don't know if you don't think that we're in trouble right now, or we're not in a recession, but we are. Those are the conversations that I'm having with people. So guys, I didn't just wake up one morning and decide to sell my car. So there was definitely some thought and some strategy behind my method and what I'm doing here. And that money's definitely not just going to be sitting in a savings account. It's going to be either invested in the market or invested into a real estate property or into buying a business. So there's definitely a method to the madness. And now that's not to say that I'll never get another car again, because people that know me know that I'm a car guy. But for right now, I think it was the best thing for me to do based on my long-term goals. So what do you guys think? Have you guys ever decided to get rid of something that you really liked because you thought that there could be more opportunity waiting for you around the corner, and if you have the money available at the time, could put you in a position to potentially change your life? Leave a comment down below and let me know.